What do you think is the most important thing for IEP team leaders to know about parents?
To answer that question, I think I have to think a little bit about what I was telling you before.
Yeah.
I think it is of crucial importance for team leaders to know a little bit more of the background of families,
Yeah.
Where they're coming from, not only, just as human beings, but I mean, just like, socially and I don't even want to mention that, but economically and all those things,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
are important, class issues or racial issues,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But even if we're working in a homogeneous, society, racially homogeneous, I think it's very important simply because, getting a good background on where the families are working or moving or, living, it's very important to see, what options there may be or where the necessities may lay, for a kid, you know what I mean? Or sometimes, like, I remember being in some IEP meetings when I was a translator where, there was very many pejorative, like, judgments,
Right.
about parents, for instance, well, the parents that should show up, blah, 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 and then on the side, I know parents have 3 jobs.
Right, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that is a problem,
Yeah.
and this happened, we live in a pretty, middle class neighborhood or upper middle class.
Right.
But you still have, certain families that have, different needs, so I think you have to work with that a little bit, and this is where that part where I told you earlier that, getting to know the person as a person a little bit is helpful.
It seems like, I'm interested, as I listen to you talk, what I am thinking is, all of us come to this team meeting table with experiences. The family comes with experiences, and educators come with experiences. But by and large, if people have had access to advanced education, right? As educators are required to, and they're sitting at a table, I think what I hear you saying, and I don't know if I'm hearing you well, so that's what I'm checking in about, is that educators may not have shared or common experiences with some families in terms of racial identity or socioeconomic status, or even just daily life outside of the school building, that educators or team leaders have to kind of invest some time and energy in getting to know,
Right.
or thinking about.
I think that's absolutely right. That's exactly it. And I think in the end, if I'm just thinking as a team member, even for selfish reasons, it will save you time in the future if you know what you're dealing with. You know what I mean? Like, like you said, some socioeconomic characteristics of families are very important to, the work that we're doing here together. I found in the past, like, some families did not even know what their rights were, even legally, or they had no knowledge of, what services were out there for the children, and so, even though I was a translator, I found myself many times stepping out of my just translator role, even though I was not even part of the team. I was just there to translate, you know what I mean, to let families know that they have certain rights. And I think, special team leaders should, take into account those issues, so that you can work with the family maybe differently, you know what I mean, or you can offer some more information, you know what I mean.
Right.
And the education level has a lot to do with that too. I guess some parents just they don't know, or they just think, that the children have very little rights or something.
I kind of like what you're hinting at too, kind of as a second theme, that you, right, as a translator and as an educated man, were able to bring a knowledge about things beyond school, right? Knowing and recognizing that families who have children with disabilities have children who may have a profile of needs that extends beyond what a lot of families are tapping into.
Right.
So this idea that anybody at the table, right, a parent, a translator, an educator, a team leader, could could and should
Yeah.
come ready to talk about two things: the rights of the child, right? Which don't make us adversaries, they make us a team, they make us partners, right?
Partners.
And
Partners.
knowledge about community resources and
Exactly.
things that will actually help kids and families, not just during the school day, but beyond the school day. And that truly, I agree with you, will save time and energy later, and also don't cost a dime to
Yeah.
the district, and can often be accessed to meet some needs that sometimes, because of this lack of like knowledge about rights and understanding of systems, families look to schools to provide for needs that schools can't provide for.
Exactly.
So interesting.
Yes, and I think this is where, constructivist approaches to education are more applicable in this case, specific case here with children that have other needs, where you gotta start thinking that we're a community of learners, more than just like a school family separated,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's
Right.
just a whole community where we all learn together and we work together for the same goals.
Yeah.